A pair of Major League Baseball players are now under indictment, accused of rigging their own pitches. Prosecutors say Cleveland Guardians pitchers Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase, a three-time All-Star and 2024 American League Reliever of the Year, intentionally threw balls instead of strikes to win bets made by co-conspirators or even themselves. If convicted, they could each face up to 65 years in prison. But lawyers for both athletes are denying the charges. For more, let's bring in sports analyst and former NFL pro Marques Ogden. Marques, how surprised should we be at this point when we hear about players being charged in these kinds of cases? It feels like day in and day out, more and more often, we're hearing about athletes rigging their games.
Alex, this is very disturbing. I am a huge sports fan. I love baseball, football, basketball, to hear all these things going on. And again, I'm like, really rigging your pitches to win bets? It was just really shocking. Again, it was alleged, but even the allegation itself, Alex, is very disturbing.
Right. Innocent until proven guilty. We know the attorneys for these athletes are denying the charges. Can you walk us through the specifics of this particular case and this accusation, which is essentially saying that these two pitchers intentionally threw balls instead of strikes in order to win the bet? How is that different than, say, another sports legend, MLB legend, Pete Rose, banned from baseball for his betting in 1989?
You know what, Alex? I don't think it's very much different at all. Again, you're talking about Pete Rose bet on games himself as a manager, which is horrible in itself. Again, I know it was alleged, all these things. He went through the whole process. That was bad. When you talk about players, right, Alex, in the game, and you have other guys on the team that are competing and doing all they can to win the game and bring home the W for their fans, for the town, for the community, to have this thing potentially be allegation of them doing that to fix and or lose games, to win bets, that, again, as a player on the field, it's so much different. I feel bad for the guys that are on their team and especially, Alex, the fans of their organization.
How should the American public and the sports fandom all across America be viewing this? Should we be losing trust in the integrity of our sports, whether it's baseball or the NBA or any of the other scandals that have come out?
As a former NFL athlete, Alex, I really hope and pray that the fans don't lose trust in all sports, football, baseball, basketball, all the major sports, any sports in general, because as a former athlete that every day, Alex, I competed hard, I tried hard, I put my all on the line for the team, for my teammates, for the organization, for the fans. I always gave my best. I truly hope that the fans of sports don't make this think like it's all players that do this, because we don't do this as a whole. Again, I don't want a few potential alleged bad apples, right, Alex, to spoil a whole bunch of hardworking, very disciplined athletes.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is gambling on sports is now easier than ever. Just a few years ago, sports gambling was illegal in every state but Nevada. Is legal sports betting becoming too prevalent today? Is it too tempting now, not just for the American public and people like me, but also the athletes that take the field?
Yes, Alex. Again, when you have sports betting like right at your fingertips, your phone, your laptop, it's everywhere. DraftKings, FanDuel, all these things are in front of your face. It's a lot more tempting as an athlete. When I played professional football in the NFL, there was no DraftKings, there was no FanDuel, there was no legalized betting on phones or pretty much in every state. So again, it's a lot harder today. But again, as an athlete, you have to be disciplined, you have to be dedicated to your craft, and you do not ever want to mix gambling with what you do in your sport or you playing the game. It's got to be, you want to gamble, that's fine. Do it, where it's on your own or after your off season or not in your sport. But for goodness sakes, don't bet on your sport, your game, and especially a game that you're in. Just don't do it. Again, allegedly, but just don't do it.
Yeah, it's probably also up to the leagues, the commissioners, the coaches, and the players themselves holding each other accountable to make sure that lasting change is in place. Okay, that's Marques Ogden. Thank you very much for your time.
Have a great day, my friend.
All right, the time.